Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Legislative Day number 7. Will now come to order. We'll please pause for a moment of silent meditation. Thank you. I will now call upon Council Member David Marks who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of March 17th, 2025?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, the journal is approved. We have enrollments of bills. Bills 1225, 1325, 1425, and 1525 were passed by the council, signed by the county executive, and are hereby enrolled. Mr. Secretary, will you now read all bills for introduction?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. We have 4 bills for introduction this evening. First is Bill 22-25, Current Expense Budget, Long-Term and Dementia Care. Next is Bill 23-25, Current Expense Budget, Senior Care. Next is Bill 24-25, the Council's adoption of the 2025 Basic Services Maps. And Bill 25-25, sponsored by Councilman Crandall, restrictions on parking commercial vehicles in the Essex Commercial Revitalization District. Again, those are all for introduction only this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We have at least 3 appointments tonight. We will now consider appointment confirmations. Mr. Secretary, first item.
First, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is the council's consideration of the reappointment or renomination by Councilman Marks of Mr. William Paulshock Sr. to be a member of the Board of Appeals.
Okay, great. Bill, you want to come up? We have some serious questions for you, Mr. Paulshock. Mr. Councilman Marks, did you want to say a few words?
Sure. No, I'm very happy to recommend the reappointment of Mr. Paulshock, who currently serves on the Board of Appeals from the 5th District. Mr. Paulshock is a longtime Perry Hall businessman, has been very active in the Recreation Council, helped spearhead the construction of Angel Park, and is widely seen in the community as a problem solver and someone with great fairness. So it's my honor to recommend your reappointment.
Thank you.
Do other members have questions? I see you have some people with you tonight, some important people with you. Do you want to tell us who's here to support you
tonight? And proud that they were able to come. I have my lovely wife, Ann, and my 2 children, Bill and Casey.
Good.
Hey, guys.
Go family.
And if you didn't know, Casey is Officer Paulshock,
Yep.
I believe, right? Is it still Paulshock?
Thank you for your service.
It's always an honor for all of us to serve Baltimore County, for sure.
Absolutely. So if there are no further questions, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll on the appointment of Mr. William Paulshock? Reappointment of.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Aye. Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Okay, the appointment is confirmed. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you to councilmen for all you guys do for Baltimore County. Excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate your service. Okay, we have another Board of Appeals reappointment.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The next appointment for the council's consideration is the nomination by Councilman Patoka of Miss Deborah Dopkin to the Board of Appeals, reappointment.
Okay, great. Good evening, Ms. Dopkin. Councilman Patoka?
Yes. I'll let Ms. Dopkin get to the.
When you're ready. Oh, sure.
Ms. Dopkin, I didn't know if you wanted to, I know you testified at the work session, if you don't have to say a few words, but if you wanted to.
Well, thank you. Everything I had to say, I said at the work session, so thank you.
Councilman Patoka?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Ms. Dopkin. I know I said this at the work session, but Mike Ruby wasn't here, and so I'm going to say it again because I want Mike Ruby to get the story on this. So, Mr. Ruby and everyone else here, Deborah Dopkin was appointed by my predecessor, Vicki Allman. And so when I came on in 2018, she notified me that her appointment was overdue. And so we had a meeting. And Mike Ruby, I knew in the first minute of our conversation that the county would be lucky if Ms. Dopkin would accept a reappointment as the 2nd District member of the Board of Appeals. And so I know she's here with a handsome man back there, Mr. Mark Dopkin. So it was one of the easiest things I've ever had to do as a council member. That's all I have to say. I hope my colleagues will join me in voting in the affirmative for Ms. Dopkin.
Great. Any other questions for Ms. Dopkin?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Catch?
Mrs. Dopkin, I appreciate you meeting and talking at the memorial service. Was it 2 weeks ago? Time does fly. So I thank you for your job that you're doing on the board, and I thank Mr. Polshak as well for the job that he's doing. I heard nothing but positive input regarding both of you. So I was going to ask Mr. Dopkin where he's getting his crabs these days, but I know one restaurant's getting them from Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Okay.
You mean Mr. Paul Shaw?
Thank you, Mr. Koch.
Councilman Katz, those Venezuelan crabs are being sent back to Venezuela. Oh, I'm sorry, that was all.
And
All right.
in gasoline or what?
Is there any other questions for
Mr. Chair, I guess when,
Councilman Jones?
thank you. I guess when to echo my comments from Councilman Catch, not so much about the crabs, but we certainly appreciate both of your service to the county. You play a very important role, and I'm just happy that you're there, and you will continue to treat people fairly. So that's all we ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Jones.
Yes, thank you, Councilman Jones. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll for the reappointment of Ms. Dopkin?
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young. Aye.
Okay, the appointment is confirmed. Congratulations, Ms. Dopkin. All right. Next, Mr. Secretary?
Next, Mr. Chairman, is the council's consideration of the nomination by Councilman Crandall of Ms. Jessica Lilly to be the District 7 appointee to the Planning Board.
And I see Ms. Lilly is online with us. She was here at the work session last week at our marathon work session. And Ms. Lilly, did you want to say a few words, or I know you told us much last week.
I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm pretty excited about coming on board and serving the county, and
making sure I represent our district really well.
Great. Councilman Crandall, did you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mrs. Lilly, thank you so much for stepping up and taking on this responsibility. As I shared in the work session last week, Jessica is an accomplished community leader, PTA leader. I don't think that she's fell. I don't know who the somebody is on her T-shirt. Somebody fell. I don't know. But I just say I think she's uniquely qualified to be on the planning board, given her experience as a community leader, and she's worked with businesses in the Dundalk area. And as I said before, she's been a veteran of 2 comprehensive zoning mapping processes, and has worked directly with both the community and property owners in those endeavors. So I think she's going to be, with your approval today, she will be a great asset to the planning board and to the residents of Baltimore County. I have no doubt about that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Any other questions from the members? Do I have a motion to approve the appointment of Ms. Lilly?
I'll move the nomination.
And I'll
second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll?
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
Okay, great. The appointment is confirmed. Congratulations, Ms. Lilly. We appreciate you stepping up to serve on the planning board. It's an important board. We do a lot of good things there, and often their work comes to us. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you, Jessica.
Next up, Mr. Secretary, we have a appointment to the Fair Election Fund Commission.
Yes, sir. The final appointment for the council's consideration this evening is the nomination by Mr. Crandall of Stacy McNish to be the District 7 appointee to the Fair Election Fund Commission.
I see Ms. McNish is on the online with us. Ms. McNish, did you, I know you testified last week at the work session. Did you want to say any words tonight?
Sure, yes. I just want to say I appreciate you guys considering me for working on that commission, and I hope I can make it a success.
Great, thank you. Councilman Crandall, did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. McNish, thank you so much for stepping up. The Fair Election Fund is something that, to be honest, I did not vote for. I did not, I think maybe one other of my colleagues agreed with me that public financing of political campaigns is not something that the taxpayers should fund. However, it is the law of the land, and we have a fund, so we need people like yourselves to establish the guidelines and the amount of money that a candidate could apply for in running for Baltimore County office. So, seeing that it is the law of the land, I know that you come highly recommended from the administration, and I again thank you for stepping up. It's an important commission appointment, and from what I hear, you will serve Baltimore County, its residents, and future candidates very well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Any other questions, concerns from the members before I ask for a motion? Do I have a motion?
I will move the nomination.
I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll for the appointment of Ms. McNish?
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
Okay, the appointment is confirmed. Congratulations, Ms. McNish.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you stepping up to serve. Okay, we will now move on to final reading and vote on of bills. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
First, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is Bill 16-25, sponsored by Councilman Marks. Zoning regulations, uses permitted in the RC5 zone, Christmas tree farms, and plumbing, mechanical, and utility companies.
Okay, Councilman Marks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've had a lot of discussion about this bill. It was held over for 2 weeks. This permits by right certain combinations of Christmas tree farms and plumbing, mechanical, utility companies in certain areas within Kingsville. And I believe there is an amendment that we've crafted in conversations with some of the residents in that area. Mr. Boswick, could you describe the amendment?
Mr. Secretary, sorry.
So the bill as drafted would allow the combination of uses of a Christmas tree farm and a plumbing, mechanical, and utility company. The amendment would also allow a combination of not specifically a Christmas tree farm, but a farm, as well as an auxiliary small business use consisting only of software development and computer systems management. So those are the two uses in combination that would be permitted in the bill with the amendment. There's also an amendment that would remove the restriction. Currently, the use would have to be located on a combination of lots that together are greater than 15 acres and within the Kingsville Regional Planning District and east of I-95. The amendment would also strike the language related to east of I-95 so that it is so that there is the minimum acreage as well as being located in the Kingsville Planning District. In addition, the combined use may include on-site and online sales of produce and farm-related products, farm tours and seasonal farm day events, and commercial non-farm related parking is limited to 25 spaces. And then the final amendment would essentially make this a pilot program that would automatically sunset on October 1st, 2028, without any further necessity or without the necessity of any further action by the council.
Okay.
Thank you. I think that's a very good description, Mr. Boswick, and appreciate your work on this.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions about the amendment to Bill 1625? If not, do I have a motion to approve the amendment to Bill 1625?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendment to Bill 1625.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Okay, the amendment passes. Are there any questions or comments from the members? Is there a motion to approve Bill 1625 as amended? Is
So moved.
there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 1625 as amended.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay, Bill 1625 passes. Next bill, Mr. Secretary?
Sorry. Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 18-25. This bill is sponsored by council members Marks and Catch, zoning regulations, solar facilities.
Sorry, we were having side commentary here that was uncalled for. So you described it, did you,
Yeah.
Councilman Marks?
So I'm going to motion that this bill be held over for 2 weeks. I think there's a very good reason for doing so. Today, the General Assembly passed Senate Bill 931, which is a 29-page bill that has a lot of potential changes to the way we can regulate solar energy. I think it's very appropriate that our attorneys, in consultation with the administration, look at the ramifications of this bill. I'd like to motion that we delay consideration of the pending county legislation until we can further analyze Senate Bill 931 and any other legislation. So moved that we delay it.
Okay. Do we need a motion to do that?
I think you
do you want to
do.
motion?
Motion, yes.
I'll second it. Do you want to call the roll, Secretary, please,
Certainly.
on extending?
Certainly. Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, bill is extended. Mr. Secretary, do you want our next bill?
Next, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is Bill 19-25, sponsored by council members Marks, Catch, Ertel, Patoka, and Crandall, County Charter, Baltimore County Farmland Preservation Act.
Okay. Councilman Marks, did you want to talk? Okay. Mr. Secretary, it looks like we have at least 3 amendments on this bill. Did you want to read the first amendment to Bill 1925?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, the first set of amendment, the first amendment would do the following. It would amend in addition to the bill you have before you, which is to create a process for amending the boundary of the county URDL, the urban rural demarcation line. The amendment would also add an amendment to the county charter to clarify that and this is language that is already set forth in section 522.1 of the charter, but this technical amendment would amend that part of the charter to clarify that except for consideration of the boundaries of the URDL, other matters such as a plan, zoning map, rule, or regulation that was recommended for adoption, amendment, or repeal by the Department of Planning, Planning Board, or the Zoning Commissioner shall be approved by a simple majority of a legislative act of the council. Number one. And number two, the amendment would also amend the definition of the URDL that is set forth in the zoning regulations. This change would not be related to the charter. This would just be a simple amendment of the zoning regulations. And this would be, of course, contingent upon the passage and ratification of the aforementioned charter amendments by the voters. This amendment to the definition of the URDL would make it so it is consistent with the potential changes being made by the URDL charter change, which would, and the definition would state a boundary line established by the planning board, dividing that portion of the county considered as urban from that considered rural. In recommending any changes, revisions, or amendments to the boundaries of the urban-rural demarcation line under section 1014 of the charter, the planning board shall consider population density, existing public water supply and sewerage facilities, other existing public facilities, and public facilities scheduled for planning or construction in the capital budget and 5-year capital program. And those are the 2 amendments that are being offered by Councilman Marks to the bill.
By Councilman Marks? Or
Yes. Actually, council members Ertel, Catch, Patoka, and Marks. I'm sorry.
okay. Did anyone have questions about the amendment?
Mr. Chair, are we voting for one amendment at a time or 2?
We're doing.
They were put together as one set of 2 amendments, but if you wish to.
No, I'm fine.
Really, sorry.
Councilman Ketch? Did you have, Councilman Young?
For clarification, so it's the 2 technical amendments that one is putting into place or clarifying in the charter now the process in which the roles that the planning board has related to its decisions and separating out what the actions, if the referendum is to pass, applies to planning board decisions, what doesn't, correct?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
Got it. Thank you for getting them to us as quick as you could, and we met the standard that we put into place in terms of posting them online and presenting to everybody. Hadn't had a whole lot of time to digest them. I would ask my colleagues, we've had a ton of, it goes without saying, we've had a ton of debate on this, and I'm sure we'll make closing statements once the amendments are clarified and through. I'm looking at this and I'm wondering if there is willingness from the sponsors to entertain a potential, I would like to think, friendly addition to the amendments being proposed, that, or a change, or however we want to put it, an amendment to the amendment, that would include in the master plan process that happens every 10 years, specific language related to the ERDL. Because at this point, my understanding, during the master plan process, it is included in the master plan, more out of courtesy slash, what am I trying to say? It's put in there not because it has to be, but because it traditionally has been. So at this point, it seems to be tradition that it's included, but there's nothing mandatory that requires the planning board to include the ERDL in the master plan. It really isn't. I mean, it does it because the planning board created it, and that it is included in its discussion of urban and rural areas. Is there a willingness to add a piece related to the master plan process every 10 years that mandates the discussion of review would be the wrong word. It's not recommending any changes, just including the discussion about the ERDL during that master plan process that it already includes it in. Since we're codifying and we're putting in here what the responsibilities of the planning board is, and we're talking about making sure that we're protecting the ERDL, we're playing a role in the future of that ERDL as a council, adding language right here, right now in this amendment that's being recommended to clarify the planning board process that makes sure that it's included in that planning board, in that process for the master plan every 10 years, where it currently is not required to do so. That's a question to everybody.
Mr. Chair.
Councilman Patoka.
I have concerns about this issue being brought forth in the 11th hour, where we haven't really discussed this. And so to have it in a sidebar discussion over on the right side of the dais and not having, I mean, if this was something you wanted to do, Councilman Young, why was there no discussion with your colleagues, perhaps phone calls over the weekend or since we had the work session last week?
Sure. So the answer to that would be exactly what I stated earlier, that not having a chance to, none of us having a chance to really review the amendments until this morning after they were posted, and having a chance to digest them, hearing and having conversations with staff about what they do and what the importance of them are. The sidebar conversation was with the sponsor of the bill, because I wouldn't bring this up without him saying it was appropriate to do so, which would have been inappropriate. And as having a good discussion with him to make sure he was okay with the concept is why I'm bringing it up right now.
What time, Mr. Secretary, what time was the amendment posted?
10 a.m.
The amendments were posted on Friday afternoon, probably about 2 o'clock.
So there seems to me, if they're posted on Friday afternoon, there was plenty of time to review them, to contact staff, and then to contact your council members, your colleagues, to say, hey, I read it on Friday when they were posted, and I have some language I'd like to add or an alternative, but to bring it up at 6:45 on the day of the legislative session is wholly inappropriate.
Completely disagree. However, if we would like to extend the bill, I take your lead.
I don't wish to extend the bill, but
Oh, well, if you'd like to have a continued conversation about this, because I'd like to just generally have an idea of where other people feel about it. If this is important enough to put in the charter, as we've discussed over the last multiple weeks, then it's also important enough to make sure that it's not somehow removed from the planning board process.
Councilman Young, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4 days to review this and to bring it up at the 11th hour. Sometimes you have to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, I know it's hard when you don't have a lot of experience in the back and forth of a debate and discussion, which is exactly what's happening here. In the moment that we have the bill in front of us and we have the amendments in front of us, they're being presented all at once, because reading them individually and saying, oh, okay, it's just naturally codifying the planning board's process they currently follow now, and then hearing them read, and then also through conversation that's happened before now in the back room, isn't inappropriate, because we're right here and as a body can make a determination whether we want to suspend the rules or if we want to amend an amendment in front of us. So while I understand that generally not having experience in engaging in a legislative body that includes you in a process, I'm pretty used to that. So if we have an idea that we'd like to put forth that makes the bill better, this is absolutely at the appropriate time to bring it up.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about on back rooms. Perhaps you're in a room that I wasn't in, but I just think that bringing this up to me is inappropriate. Having sidebar conversation is inappropriate, especially when the secretary is reading what the amendments are and we're trying to listen and there's chatter going on. I just think it's inappropriate and I do not support it.
Oh, good. Anybody else have any conversations or ideas related to the proposal of an amendment?
Mr. Young, this chair, Councilman Young, the chair is Chairman Artel, and I think he would, he's officiating the meeting.
Right. I think you've made your point too, though, right? You've made your point, right?
Have I?
Okay, I think we're going to move. Councilman Ketch, did you?
I didn't quite understand your amendment. So you want the planning board and Department of Planning to study the ERDL and do what?
Right. No, I think that included in the master plan process happens every 10 years, since we're including this in now the charter amendment that's going to go to the voters. And we're making it clear in terms of what the planning board does and doesn't do. Since the ERDL isn't included in that process, I'm making the suggestion that here right now, and we're in our process of putting this out to the voters, that we include it in their process of the master plan. They do it naturally, but it's also not required that they do so.
Okay, I think what confused me is you had said that you did not want them to make recommendations.
No, I was trying to, again, in this moment, which is
Right.
where these things happen, and trying to feel out what would be a appropriate recommendation for an amendment to an amendment would be if you like the idea for recommendation, that's fine. If you like the idea of just taking a look at what the ERDL currently is in the current structure and making sure that when they're referencing it in the master plan.
Well, if they're going to look at it
Right.
and determine that, we would like to suggest you do it this way, that, whatever. Wouldn't that be beneficial to the council? Wouldn't we want them
Right.
to include whatever their conclusion is in the report?
I would say so, yes.
Because you said no.
I was trying to be, I wasn't trying to dictate what the amendment should be or the change.
Okay.
I was just saying that it should be included in the 10-year master plan process if we're going to clarify what the planning board's role is. One of those pieces of the amendment is formulating the master plan and separating that out from what we're trying to pass here with us. And I would say that in terms of if the members agree that there's value in adding the ERDL into the planning board's 10-year master plan process, that I would be willing to consider voting for this bill.
It would hardly be worthwhile for them to discuss this unless they were going to show their conclusions or make recommendations. I mean, why bother?
Sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's fine as long as there's a conclusion and that conclusion is expressed in the report.
And to your point too, either making a recommendation or expressing their opinion doesn't force anyone to do
Right.
anything. So that's a good point,
Exactly
which
right.
I hadn't really thought about.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Ketch, are you?
Yeah, I just wanted that clarified, that's all.
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Crandall, go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, is your microphone on?
Councilman Crandall, go ahead. Sorry, my mic was
Thank
on.
you, Mr. Chair. Councilman Young, I think that you make a compelling case for further defining the role of the planning board in the master plan process with regards to the ERDL. However, I agree with Councilman Patoka in that I think that we should adhere to the rules that that we had all unanimously voted for, and that you actually led us to the path of sticking with a process. And one of the concerns that I know that Councilman Cass has had for a long time since we both came on the council together, as well as the genesis of your idea to make sure that amendments were posted at least by 10 a.m. The Monday of the vote. So I would suggest that we still adhere to the rules and take your idea under consideration and give us more time to vet that, discuss it, even though I think Councilman Cash did a good job of boiling it down. But there's nothing stopping you from proposing an amendment to this bill moving forward. The voters will not see this referendum until 2026, which gives you a lot of time to come back and propose an amendment and perhaps workshop that amendment, or at least run it by all of us, so then we could then come to a consensus. So I just like us to adhere to the process that we had set up and not do amendments on the fly that our draftsmen haven't even had an opportunity to write yet. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Would you like me to?
Councilman Young, did you want to respond to that, or?
Just say I appreciate the candor on it and apologizes for not being able to formulate this until sitting here in the discussion. And in keeping with the rules, if there was a consensus would be the wrong word, but if there was enough support for amending the amendment, we can suspend the rules to amend the amendment. And that's in keeping with it. I mean, the whole purpose is to make sure that there's transparency to the work that we do. So I think that the amendment has been posted after hearing it here and in context of the entire bill, having that discussion with other members and bringing up an idea that's presented. We shouldn't be throwing things around willy-nilly. But if the idea and the concept has merit and gain support from the other members, if there's willingness to suspend the rules to make an amendment to the amendment, would stay within our the changes that we made collectively over a year ago.
Councilman Marks.
Thank you. Councilman Young, do you have any idea where in the amendment this would be placed, or the language?
I would look at page 1, third line, under Council ERDL.
This is a really strange process we're going through right now, where we're looking through the amendment, looking at the text, where the amendment would be. I just think this is not fair to the public, it's not fair to the staff, and it's not fair to your colleagues.
In what way?
Well, Councilman Young, we've had multiple hours at 2 different hearings where people have testified and provided testimony on what they heard, what they read online. We had 2 work sessions on it. One went till 10:30 the other night. And then amendments were proposed. They were put online Friday. So all day Friday, they were posted. All day Saturday, they were posted. All day Sunday, They were posted. They've been posted all day today. And so to bring this up as we're looking at where does the amendment belong, it's really unfair to a public process. It's actually the antithesis of a public process.
Well, I disagree. I mean, if anybody on this council believes that they have an idea that could make a bill better and also potentially, while it's been clear that I've been on the other side of this piece of legislation because I still don't believe it belongs in the charter, but in terms of an opportunity to make something better and also make this process transparent for the future public, the next time that we have.
How do we know it's better if no one can follow along in terms of what you're trying to amend?
That's what we were saying here in terms of being transparent and making sure that what we're putting into the charter, which also through all of this process, while we have made a standard that we wanted to make sure that 10 o'clock was the goal for introducing any amendments, the administration has clearly done that. They introduced them on Friday. We haven't had a chance to collectively get together and discuss these amendments. And now that we're here discussing them, the idea to potentially make it more transparent,
Councilman Young,
more open,
you have
and then also add a piece that makes sure that the ERDL is not only codified in definition, but also codified in process every 10 years. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the bad piece of adding this amendment, especially if it makes the bill better.
I don't know that it makes, you're saying it makes the bill better, but does anybody here in the public know that it makes the bill better? We've not seen it. You're looking at
Mr.
what
Patoka, the members here are the only ones you need to address here. So if you don't believe it makes it better, that's fine. I'm just trying to have a conversation with the other members if they like this idea of making sure
could have had that
10-year
conversation
process
Friday.
includes the ERDL.
You could have had that conversation Saturday, and just let me get to Monday, Mr. Chair. You could have had that conversation Sunday. You know all of our cell phones. You could have had that conversation today, but you chose not to. You chose to bring it up at this meeting at the 11th hour. That wasn't accident, that was by choice. And I don't think it's an appropriate way to bring an amendment forward. It violates all of our rules.
Does not
It's not
violate
fair
the
to the public.
It does not violate any rules. To discuss an amendment in front of us and potentially changing the amendment is absolutely within our rules. But that's okay that you have clearly made your statement that you don't agree. But I think some other folks had some other things to say.
All right, Councilman Ketch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hate to bring this up, but my colleague to my left and I both are products of the Maryland General Assembly. And whereas I don't approve of everything they do or the conclusions they reach, I think some of the processes that they use are better than how we operate. And I believe that with a bill like this, it would have been better for us to have a subcommittee of 3 members or a subcommittee as the whole. I don't care, just a subcommittee to sit down and look only at this particular bill with the staff making comments and getting ideas from everyone of how to make this bill better, how to make it work. All I can say is in Annapolis, that works beautifully. It really does. You ought to go to some of the subcommittee meetings and you'll see how it operates. Now, in the final voting session of the committee, which I consider this is what this is, certainly the public's always invited, but we do not invite the lobbyists to those sessions, voting sessions, which has worked quite well. So I just would ask the chairman in the future that when we have controversial bills like this, that if you would appoint a subcommittee or the entire council as a subcommittee to look at just a particular bill to work out any issues with the bill so that we're all comfortable with it. So that I can't tell you, stress enough the fact that it worked very well in the state legislature, very well. Would you agree with me?
I agree with Councilman Ketch.
Okay.
Let me ask my question again. And I'm going to ask something those who are critical of this are asking. Councilman Young, where would you say is a good place to place this?
And I think the place, and I also defer to the secretary and the drafters, it should go in the section where it's describing the roles of the planning board related to the master plan process.
Councilman Young, if you were to do this, I think that's correct. I think it's as simple as adding 4 or 5 words in section 522.1. It would be one after it says implementation of the master plan and the urban rural demarcation line. Right?
I would agree with that.
I
would agree with that based on what I'm looking at.
So that's that question for Councilman Young. My question to Mr. Bostwick and Mr. Phillips, where are we with the rules? Can you clarify, is this a violation of the rules at all?
Well, it requires a suspension of the rules.
We'd have to suspend the rules.
Correct.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So we've worked really hard to become a more transparent body. Now we're working really hard on the 11th hour to be less transparent, or at least not to follow the spirit of transparency. I'm getting texts right now from folks. I'll just read this one aloud. Why isn't the public being allowed to review the amendments? Didn't the council agree the amendments would be 2 p.m. Friday afternoon, not provide adequate time for public's review?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Well, it says 2 p.m. It's a mistype, but I think the spirit of the text is valid, that we've moved to be much more transparent than we have in the past. We have an additional work session. We have hours and hours of testimony, and now we're working to be less transparent or work outside of the spirit of transparency. It's not good government.
Councilman Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I think there's a misconception of that this is a new amendment, and it's not. It's an addition to an amendment that's before us that's been posted within our rules. So I think that, I know that in terms of our ability to make the choice for ourselves, in terms of if an amendment was proposed and posted on time that in general had the right spirit or right concept, but was wrong, or even if the secretary then brought it up that there was something inappropriate with it, we could amend it at the dais as we're here, and doing nothing different than what anyone else would in terms of after hearing the amendment at the dais, in context of the entire bill, in conversation with the other members leading up to this meeting.
Spirit of transparency.
There's nothing really wrong with making a suggestion that would add another aspect of what the spirit of this bill is. The spirit of this bill is trying to make sure that the ERDL is taken into consideration and that we're addressing it at every position that we can. One, we're interjecting ourselves and creating a new role for us to play. And here in the amendments that the administration has offered, make sure that the planning board's process is also clear in relation to what we're about to try and change and put towards the voters. So in doing so, adding another place for the ERDL to be maintained and guaranteed to be discussed during the 10-year master plan process is well within our ability to make that decision. And I don't think there's anything lack of transparency associated with it, because we're here publicly discussing it right now.
Councilman Young, can I ask you, this is an amendment that the administration is offering?
The administration offered the amendment that clarifies the planning board's role. What I'm talking about is just an addition to.
What was the timing on that?
It's Friday.
Okay, so the administration, if I could ask Ms. Walker, so this was offered to the council on Friday. Is that correct? I'm just trying to find out the timeline of the path of this information.
It's not in my amendment. It's the.
I think it was actually Thursday.
Asking the question.
And so was there a council member that was willing to bring this forward on Thursday?
By request of the administration, the chair brings it up.
What's that?
By request of the administration, the chair presents the amendment. That's my understanding.
But I mean, why did I'm confounded about the timing of the process, that we knew Friday. Like, it's just, this, I'll stop.
Councilman Patoka, you've made your point.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't mean to.
You're 100% right.
Do we, Secretary, Mr. Secretary, sorry. Is it appropriate to vote for suspending the rules?
You may.
How do we move forward at this point?
Ask for
Suspension of the rules.
A motion to suspend the rules?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. The council's rules that were amended in Resolution 624 revamped the council's amendment procedures generally and at the work session and thereafter. And the rules state that the amendments are to be posted by 10 a.m. on the legislative session date, that a bill is scheduled for final reading and vote, that the posting of the amendments on the website formally constitutes their introduction, but they may be withdrawn by the lead sponsor at any time prior to the call for final reading and vote. And then amendments introduced after the 10 a.m. deadline require the suspension of rules for consideration at the legislative session. So my long-winded way of saying, yes, if you wish to move forward with amending, with offering an amendment, it would require a motion to do so, a motion to suspend the rules in order to do so.
Okay.
And a second, and a vote.
Are there any questions before we ask for a motion? Is there a motion to approve suspending the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Let's call the roll on suspending the rules, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Ertel,
Nay.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Patoka,
Nay.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks, Mr. Crandall.
No.
The motion is carried.
Motion carries. All right.
4-3. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Young.
suspension of the rules, I would like to offer an amendment to the amendment,
Okay.
if we could, and with the help of the secretary, make sure to get the language right.
It's the point.
Young, if you could just briefly articulate that amendment again.
Right. It would make sure, and it would clarify that during the 10-year process with the master plan, that the ERDL itself would be reviewed. And any,
Reviewed.
say again?
Could be, would be,
Will be reviewed.
I just object to this process.
Yep. you
That
made
we're
that
doing
clear.
this on the fly. This is not in the
And
spirit
would- and
of transparency or public or good government.
recommendations as
Go.
necessary. And clarifications appropriate. It's okay.
This is an outrage that we're doing government this way. I have to protest, Mr. Chair. This is,
You've made your protest, Councilman, and right now we're in the middle of a process of amending the amendment. There's nothing out of order here.
yes, there
I
is.
completely understand that you're not used to a process where a body itself makes its decisions and can collectively.
Councilman Young, this
decide
is
on what
not
needs to be
about one-upping each other or
Then
throwing
please
insults.
Stop talking and let's finish what's currently in front of us. I'm trying to clarify the amendment so that there can be a motion to approve it.
So that
We're
no-
talking through it. You can protest all you want, but we're trying to clarify this. Which I believe, Councilman Jones, Councilman Marks, wasn't this done prior to us changing the rules? Like, bills were amended on the fly right at the dais consistently.
Mr. Chair,
Councilman Jones.
I voted to suspend the rules. You're absolutely right. I've been here for 10 years. And I support transparency. I support us being as open as we can. But I don't want us to get to a point where a good idea is held hostage because of a technicality. There's a mechanism to change the rules. The mechanism is where we have a vote to suspend the rules. We've done that. We've suspended the rules. That's all part of the rules, the mechanism to suspend. And that's why I voted the way I did, and you're absolutely right. I guess don't want to see a good idea held hostage.
I think so. I don't know. I'm really
It's a
furious.
good idea, it's a good idea.
Mr. Secretary, I have a question. Is there, we've potentially tacking this on to the First Amendment. Is there a way to,
Well, With all due respect,
Would
I
it-
would
would it be
recommend
its
that
own
this be
amendment?
its own standalone amendment,
Standalone
because the
amendment.
rules call for the allowance of that with the suspension of the rules, which has occurred. So I think Mr. Young is within his purview to offer this as a substantive amendment.
Okay. So
From the
it would be its own separate amendment?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So if you wish to move forward with, since we're here, if you wish to move forward with that as an amendment offered by Councilman Young.
Don't we need to
can
vote
certainly
on
do
the
that.
First Amendment first? Or are we just in this
Well,
order? and
I
we'll
think we
vote
need
on
to do this
Okay,
because we
absolutely.
suspended the rules and we're here.
Okay,
We hadn't
Okay.
made a motion yet on the, it had been brought up first, but we hadn't made it a motion.
Correct.
But also, my understanding was that we were amending the amendment. I understand that from a process standpoint, having it stand alone makes more sense. But that was not the original intent. The intent was to stay
I
on the same
understand,
amendment. So in answering your question, though, it was in that First Amendment under the section that clarifies the planning board's process for the 10-year master plan, which would be to include a piece of language or a sentence that guarantees or make sure that the ERDL is included in that process with recommendations and evaluation, just like any other piece of the master plan.
So we have taken that and we would recommend that it be placed in section 522.1 subsection A, paragraph 1 of the charter, which sets forth the duties of the Department of Planning. It would state the Department of Planning shall have the responsibility and duty of planning for Baltimore County, including that subsection A. Number 1, preparing at least every 10 years and revising a master plan. Here's the new language, that includes a review of the urban-rural demarcation line and any recommendations and clarifications as necessary and appropriate, semicolon, and then back to the original language, monitoring the implementation of the master plan, semicolon, and preparing at least every 2 years a report to the county executive and county council on the progress achieved toward implementation of the master plan. So in recap, we would add that language that I just read to paragraph 1 of subsection A of section 522.1 of the charter to include the review that you have mentioned.
Suspension of the rules. Over.
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Councilman Katz.
what is the word before "and" where you have, was it acceptable or,
And appropriate,
and what's the word before that?
necessary and appropriate.
Why do you need the word necessary?
All right.
Because
Take it out?
was there, because when Mr. Young was stating it verbally, that was a word that he mentioned.
You feel more comfortable with the,
Take it out.
okay.
Then it would say preparing at least every 10 years and revising a master plan that includes a review of the urban-rural demarcation line and any recommendations and clarifications as appropriate.
Council,
I'm okay with that.
Councilman Marks.
we're getting in uncharted waters here, and I mean, at this point, I'm almost wondering whether to delay the bill for 2 weeks. But Councilman Young, I respect you.
Sir.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I'm going to switch my vote to close things.
Sure. Well, so Councilman, if I'd be, under the circumstances too, and only didn't ask to, I didn't want to put you on the spot to try and extend the bill. But I think under the circumstances, we can't come back here and it's more than just something that's changing the code. If you're willing to do so and willing to have that conversation about, in addition to not just codifying in the charter about our role in the ERDL process, but also codifying in the charter, clearly stating where the ERDL falls in the master plan process, I would be open to, if you're open to it, extending to make sure that the amendment is clear, concise, and meets all, standards and regulations that we set forth to make sure that it's transparent. Just didn't want to put you on the spot and ask you to extend the bill for an idea that came from the amendments that were presented to us from the administration.
The way I'm reading the amendments, it says preparing, I guess this is already in the code, preparing at least every 10 years and revising a master plan, monitoring the implementation of the master plan, preparing at least every 2 years a report to the county executive and county council on the progress achieved toward implementation of the master plan. Why can't the ERDL be discussed within that context?
It can, and it is, it's just that it's nothing requiring.
Nothing.
to do So, just like we're doing, there's nothing, right, it is out of more tradition than it is anything else at this point. There's nothing maintaining or guaranteeing that it is included, so that's why I came to you with the idea.
I understand.
As it was, and because I'll put this out, reading through it line by line, what the requirements for the 10-year master plan were from the department, we get it, we have the recommendations, we discuss it up here and then vote on it. But what they are required to do, placed line by line, made it very clear that there is an opportunity there to, one, make sure that we're also including the ERDL in that process beyond what we're trying to do here in the charter.
I understand that. I try to be very collaborative on this council.
Yes, sir.
I try to sometimes be the peacemaker, but I am sensitive, I think, now to the charges that we're doing this on the fly. So I'm going to switch my vote.
Okay. So
Mr. Marks, do you wish to make a motion to reconsider
I wish to make the motion to reconsider.
Is there a second?
Second.
you call the vote again, Mr. Secretary?
So it's the I to reconsider.
Yeah, what do,
Let's hear the language.
are we voting to
Marks?
reconsider, or are we voting to whether we want to suspend the
You're
rules?
voting on the motion to reconsider.
Reconsider the vote.
You're voting on a motion to reconsider the previous vote on the motion to suspend the rules. And then if you get.
So if we
you get-
want to reconsider, the vote is an aye.
If you want to reconsider, the vote is aye.
Okay. Just to be clear.
Right. Mr. Marks? Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
What was that? Councilman
Aye,
Young?
it's fine. Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Nay.
Mr. Jones?
Nay.
So the motion to reconsideration is carried. The motion being carried or granted, is there a motion to suspend the rules and have a vote on that again?
No.
Mr. Chair.
I'm totally lost.
So we had an amendment. We discussed changes. We asked for a motion to suspend the rules. The motion passed. Now we just had a motion to consider reconsideration. That passed. So now we're back to the original, we turned the hands of time back. Now we're back to the original motion to reconsider.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Correct.
The chair would now
Okay.
ask for a vote.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll move it.
Okay. Is there a second? Is that from you, Councilman Young? Okay. Can you please call the roll on suspending the rules once again, Mr.
Yes.
Secretary?
Mr. Ertel?
No.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Patoka?
Nay.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
No.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman. Young.
motion to extend the bill for the purpose of amendment.
Is there a second?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Call the roll on extending the bill, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Ertel?
No.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Catch?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
No.
Mr. Patoka?
No.
That motion is not, that motion fails.
Okay, so let's move on to the original amendment. It was not amended by special amendment.
Mr. Chairman,
I call it detour.
Yes,
before we move on to the next thing, in the future, will you please consider subcommittee?
I would love to consider that, Councilman Catch, but this, this is water under the bridge at this.
No, I'm talking about in the future.
Absolutely, and when does it trigger? Does it trigger on any bill that we have, or is it any bill that's controversial?
I
Or
think if
any
it's,
bill that requires a charter amendment?
well,
Certainly, probably a charter amendment.
that's something that the council would determine in essence, that we need a subcommittee or not.
I think at our next,
I think on this one, definitely.
absolutely. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, and I mean, the amendment that my colleague from the first district proposed certainly was not monumental. It didn't change the bill, it didn't damage the bill, it just improved it a little bit. So, I'm a bit confused as to why. But we don't have to discuss it.
I mean,
All
I
can say
I
is-
think there are several members of the public who regularly attend these meetings who feel like we set rules in place, and Councilman Young was actually part of that. And there are people, I've seen the text that are Councilman Patoka's getting. These are people that, they're not here tonight, but they often attend, and they feel like we are subverting the process in some way by suspending the rules, even though it is a rule, but to have something on the fly that we need to spend, how long have we spent on this? 35, 40 minutes? This should have been dealt with previously.
But as,
And it's frankly, it's somewhat embarrassing to do this in front of the public.
I agree, but we do have a rule in place.
No, I understand.
Suspend the rules to take the amendment.
I understand.
And basically, as I learned in Annapolis and I've learned here, if you got the votes, you can do whatever you want. That's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. You got the votes, you can do what you want.
And I don't know that people in Annapolis always think it's a fair process either. I've been down there.
No,
I've been down there many times myself as a community person and felt like no one was listening to anything the public was testifying.
Well, when I was first elected, there were 125 Ds and 16 Rs. So you could imagine what it was like. Actually, it was fine. But, so we were greatly outnumbered, but, our opinions of some of us were really respected. So, as I think everybody's opinion here is respected, and I have the utmost confidence in this council. And I think you learn from your mistakes. This was a terrible mistake, I think. And, I hope that we do have subcommittees in the future, or committee as a whole, of the whole, which would be perfect.
Mr. Secretary, we've read the original amendment.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to approve or vote for the original amendment? Is there a motion?
This amendment
So moved.
I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll on the original amendment that we probably have all forgotten about at this point?
Yes, sir. Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Okay, the amendment passes. Mr. Secretary, please read the second amendment to Bill 1925.
Yes, sir. The second amendment is offered by Councilman Patoka, and this amendment would, in the drafting of the original bill, there was a sentence at the end that said, including the affirmative vote of the county council member or members in whose district the change, revision, or amendment is located. The amendment offered by Mr. Patoka would strike that sentence.
Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much.
That last part of the sentence. Sorry.
I'm going to vote against this amendment and likely vote for the bill, but I just want to say something about this. We hear a lot of complaining about what some people call councilmanic courtesy. And a lot of people engage in chatter and blogging and so forth about this, but what is the alternative to that? Explain the alternative. If you don't trust the council member in whose district a change or a project is proposed to make the right decision, then who do you trust? Do you empower council members from outside that district to make the decision? Do you empower council members from distant parts of Baltimore County to, in zoning, let's say, support changes that will lead to shopping centers and townhouse developments and so forth? And without consequence, right? Without consequence. I would love for the critics of councilmanic courtesy to describe an alternative that is democratic and that works. We had a long work session that stretched, as Councilman Patoka reminded us, to 10:30, and I didn't get I didn't get that response. I didn't get an alternative. I'm going to vote against this amendment because I think that it's important that a modification to the ERDL command the support of the council member in whose district it's located. I respect those who have other opinions. I do respect those who have other opinions, but I don't see the alternative to that process. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Councilman Ketchum.
Yeah, I think this is a terrible amendment. One thing I believe in and have learned over the last 51 years is that public input, public participation is very valuable to elected officials, very valuable. And I can't tell you the amount of information that I've learned from constituents, and to cut them out of the process is the wrong way to go. Now, this bill itself does require a supermajority to pass something, which is a step in the right direction because at least you're bringing the public in through their council members. But, however, in my district, let's say, District 3, north, York Road North, that area is very desirable for development, very desirable. I know I have somebody in here who deals in real estate, and that person will, there's just no doubt about it. It's the way to go. And my constituents, I work with them very closely. And if there is a proposal to move the ERDL in order to take some land, develop it for whatever purpose, the first thing I would do is I would bring the developer and the people together in that area and see if there's anything that can be worked out. And, I believe that people are rational and reasonable. And I know that we can reach an agreement. With Lutherville Station, which I'm widely criticized for, I can assure you that we are working to a resolution. At one time, it was proposed for 560 apartments on that site, plus offices, plus retail. Some groups wanted none, others, well, it was back and forth. I think we're pretty close to agreeing on a number of apartments. So if you work at something, you can resolve it. So with that in mind, it is just plain wrong for the will of my constituents in this particular case to be bypassed. And let's be realistic about this. And I'm not talking about this council, so don't misunderstand anything I say. I am not talking about this council. But in the past, there have been council members who have been controlled by special interests. No doubt about it. And so if, you had a particular group that wanted to buy property and move the Erdl, and it was a special interest that really had a good relationship with certain numbers of people on the council, you really had little chance of protecting your constituency. I had that with the solar issue, which if you go up to northern Baltimore County and you see what's happening with solar, it's a tremendous problem. Everything that we predicted would happen is happening. It was the wrong way to go. Yet it was special interests that dictated how that legislation passed. In fact, the legislation was drafted by the special interests, drafted by them. So, I think that this is such a step in the wrong direction. Any effort to exclude constituents from a decision is the wrong decision. So I ask for the members of the council to reject this amendment so that we all can represent our constituents, that we can continue to work with our constituents in a meaningful way. Thank you.
Councilman Ketch, Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so Councilman Catch, Councilman Marks, you two have been tremendous leaders on this issue. And that doesn't go unnoticed or unrecognized. And it's great that you guys have been champions on this. And I applaud you for it. And we agree on, I think, 95% of the issues. And I respect your opinion. When you say things to me, it's meaningful to me. On this one, I think we just are gonna have to agree to disagree, but that doesn't mean to me, and I think the folks here, that you haven't been tremendous leaders on this issue. And this is, codifying the Erdl is gonna be one of the things that we can look back and say we made a difference. We can either just be here as council members, or we can make a difference during the time that we are council members. And I hope that we can look back, and I'm sure Councilman Catch, in your long career as an outstanding legislator, and Councilman Marks, we are gonna, if this vote goes the way I hope it goes, I think we are gonna be able to look back and say we made a difference in this county. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Patoka. All right, is there a motion to approve the amendment?
Motion.
I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendment.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
No.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
No.
Mr. Crandall,
No.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
The amendment is
Amendment
passed.
passes, okay. So I think that's all the amendments. Do we have discussion on the bill 1925 as amended? Councilman Jones.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak. I stand in opposition to the bill. I will not be supporting the bill. I do support the Erdl. I live outside the Erdl. I'm on well and septic. And the Erdl has been established since 1968 and basically has not moved, other than a few small spots. I believe there's a couple of sayings that come to mind. Number one, you let sleeping dogs lie. And number two, you leave well enough alone. because there is no crisis here. There's nothing happening that says we need to take the hurdle and put it in front of the citizens. I believe the bill is unnecessary. I believe we should not be changing our charter just because we think something is important. There's a lot of important things that we do. Secondly, I don't think it's a good idea to tie the hands of a future council or a future administration when we do not know and we cannot predict what they will be facing in the future in terms of whether or not they need to move the hurdle because perhaps somebody's septic failed, perhaps some other reasons why, perhaps there's some economic reasons why we need to move the hurdle just a little bit at one particular place. Those are the main reasons, not to get into a long discussion that we had over and over again, but mainly I don't want to tie the hands of a future council or future administration when we don't know what they're going to predict. And what this bill will do is literally make it more difficult. And with the failure of the motion that was the amendment that was just changed, basically put it in the hands of one person. Thank you.
It wouldn't be one person.
The opposite.
Well, if it has to be, if you're saying that the person whose district it resides in,
They just took it out.
That amendment failed.
They took it out.
the amendment was to remove that.
We did remove it. So it has to, it just,
It's taken out. So that means that my constituents.
we just need a supermajority to change the single member can't.
Mr. Secretary, maybe I'm confused.
No,
That was in the original bill,
yeah, it's out.
and there was a motion to remove it.
And we removed it.
Yes, sir.
And it passed.
It did pass?
Yes, that was the amendment offered by Mr. Patoka.
Yes, okay. I voted for it.
Councilman Young, quick. Did you?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I made my point up till this moment at the legislative session, 2 work sessions. Don't believe it's necessary. Even in the conversation with the other members, the misconception of how the ERDL is moved in general, and also just hearing from the public and also clarifying for themselves while they were here, going through this process and starting to realize what the ERDL is and what it isn't, and what folks believe the ERDL is protecting and what it's not protecting. The debate has been absolutely eye-opening and enlightening. But at the end of the day, like taking this planning tool that's acted in everyone's benefit, the entire county's benefit, since 1967, and putting it in the charter without any request from planning, request from, nobody's contacted my office leading up to this bill or since it's been in, saying that this was a specific need to stop a tangible thing from happening. It wasn't. And the way that the bill's drafted now, which we're codifying and defining, taking the definition of what the ERDL is from the zoning code and putting it in there, it still doesn't dictate any legal standing that the ERDL has over many of the things that the public believes that it has control over. That still falls to the planning board, and it'll still fall to us for a simple majority. But at the end of the day, we've sort of made this bill better by, in my opinion, taking out the role of one member from circumventing and also superseding the votes of potentially in the future 9 other members, which is a good thing. But I still can't, in good conscience, vote for this bill because it still stands to be bad policy. At the end of the day, a process that is currently in place will still be in place. At the very end of it, it will then come to us to then take a vote. And a scenario of during the CZMP process that goes on for an entire year, where everyone has an opportunity to engage in zoning issues, engage with us and engage with the council, to change zoning around this entire county. We're creating a scenario where individual property owners can request a zoning change that would put them outside the URDL, or could request a zoning change that would change their property to a zone that should be inside the URDL. And then it would go to the planning board. The planning board could then make the recommendation or review it, and then move or make a recommendation to move the URDL to capture that new zone and that new property. But then it would come to us, and we're creating a situation where then it has to be voted on again by us with a supermajority to agree to move the URDL around that zone that we've just gone through a year-long CZMP process to then change. And we could ultimately not approve the recommendation of the planning board to move the URDL, which would absolutely create properties in areas around this entire county that would violate our own policy when it comes to when it comes to the planning tool that's been set in place as an aspirational thing to guide our growth. I made that clear over the last month. I won't be supporting the bill. Appreciate one more opportunity to put into place exactly what this bill does, why I'm against it. And hopefully in the future, based even from this conversation, perhaps we should also be making some changes to the way in which we bring forth charter amendments. Because as much as people think that the URDL is something that's sacred, we shouldn't be putting it before the charter that's been in place long before that. And coming up with ideas that don't get vetted either through a subcommittee, or don't get vetted through a public process, to then be put forth and create an artificial timeline to then start voting or going through it for the work session and then voting on it, to then have it put to the voters, I think requires more scrutiny than we've given it in the past. Appreciate the opportunity to talk, appreciate the opportunity to give one more bite of the apple, and appreciate the debate related to the entire bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Young. Councilman Marks?
Thank you very much. I would like to begin by thanking everyone who has contacted the County Council about this legislation. I think we had very robust debate. I'm particularly grateful for all those who patiently waited to come before us on Tuesday night, some waiting, 5 or 6 hours to speak about various issues. We had a good, robust, substantive debate, and appreciate everyone who provided their input. I wanted to quote from the Baltimore Sun. This was Barry Roscovar's columns. In 2017, the Baltimore County was celebrating the first half century of the urban-rural demarcation line, and Mr. Roscovar said the following: "Here's a shout out to county fathers who developed this unique planning tool, now recognized internationally as the gold standard for smart growth planning. We get to see the benefits of their foresight every day." And I think we can be very proud of the protections that the URDL has afforded us in Baltimore County. Formalizing the process of altering the URDL in the charter, in my opinion, provides a predictable, open procedure for making changes in the future, and in fact guarantees deliberation and public scrutiny. What we hopefully will send into motion tonight is not a rush job, but in fact a debate that we'll have over the next 18 months, right? We have 18 months till the 2026 election. It's not like we're doing this in the spring of 2026, we have 18 months. And hopefully we will have a debate about this in school cafeterias, in lecture halls, yes, in fire halls throughout Baltimore County. So I would like to thank all those who've lent their support for this bill and look forward to the debate that's going to occur over the next 18 months. After all, the voters could turn this down. The voters have turned down charter amendments before. It's not a guarantee the charter is automatically renewed. That's why we go to the voters of this county, and I look forward to that spirited discussion.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I first want to again acknowledge the co-sponsors. I think there's a significant amount of leadership that's been demonstrated. Councilman Catch, Councilman Ertel, Councilman Marks, and Councilman Crandall. As I said earlier, this is something we can look back and say we've made a difference. And we made a difference in all of our districts. So thank you, Councilman Marks, for pointing out the comments from Barry Roscovar. It was really, I could almost see the landscape when you recalled his statements, his publication. But I think this, the benefits to this is it protects our urban, suburban, and rural landscape, the character of Baltimore County. The reason people choose to move here is because we do have that, this landscape where as you go north, you're in Baltimore County. Of course, you know when you're in Pennsylvania as well, when you hit Shrewsbury and New Freedom. And for us that represent inner Beltway communities, this is significantly important. Mr. Reed will tell you that our fiscal 26 budget is really going to be tight. And Mr. Reed will also say fiscal 27 is going to be even worse. Is that correct, Mr. Reed? So, don't mean to call you out on this, but that's not only from Mr. Reed, but I've heard that from many budget directors throughout the state, that these next 2 years are going to be tight. And so we haven't adequately been able to support our inner Beltway communities in terms of infrastructure, roads, sidewalks, rec centers, other things that are essential to communities. So now, if we decide that the Erdl, above the Erdl is wide open, then we're going to start to build these new shiny objects up in the exurbs, shiny object up in the exurbs, and then those shiny objects will need infrastructure. They'll need support from Baltimore County. And so it's a whole new competition. Now our inner Beltway communities are just trying to get a rec center, trying to get their streets resurfaced, schools. But now we've got to support the exurbs. And so the pressure is even more intense. And so what I see happening to our inner Beltway communities is the only infrastructure they'll be getting into the future is a sewer line that comes from, we've built out the exurbs, these new shiny objects. They don't want to be on well and septic because they're now in the Erdl. So they now become on public water and sewer. And so our inner Beltway communities will have to, like in Lockern, for example, we have a 54-inch sewer line that supports Northern County, but it wasn't sufficient. It might be 36 or 54, CAO Walker. Either way, never mind. So let's say it's 36-inch. We built a companion 36-inch sewer line to support Northern County. It's not bad. You have to support sewer, but it's, to me, right now there's a lot of stress on inner Beltway communities, and we can't say that your capital project in fiscal 28, 29, and 30 will be that sewer line that you never wanted, but will support some brand new community out in the exurbs. So that's my point. I think it's important that we, again, look back and do the right thing here. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman Patoka. I'm just going to close with two things. I think this has been a good discussion as far as the Erdl goes. It's about our water supply. It's about the fact that we have to protect our water supply that is up north. We had plenty of people that came in who are farmers, working farmers. We're trying to protect that land. This does not change the fact that we can't change the Erdl. It just makes it, Councilman Jones said it would tie our hands. It doesn't really tie our hands. It just makes it a more collaborative process in the future that you would have to get 6 votes in order to change the Erdl. So I think, like I said, I think the thing about this bill, why it's been somewhat contentious and you guys all had to sit through the amendments on the amendments and everything else, it's good for the public to re-examine what the Erdl is all about, and hopefully that will happen when we put this to the voters. So with that, Councilman Jones, I know you're itching to say something.
I just going to be very brief. I appreciate everybody's comments on it, and I certainly look forward to the discussion that will, the vigorous debate. Hopefully we will have a lot of debate on the Erdl. It's always been my concern that, to be absolutely clear, 90% of the people in Baltimore County live inside the Erdl. And to be absolutely clear, although I support the Erdl and have no desire to move it, there have not been that many if any, studies done to say whether or not it has served us well, or I guess my point is, when we look outside the Erdl, the reality is the tax base of Baltimore County is generated from inside the Erdl. Where the people are, they generate the taxes. And they, in fact, subsidize people like me who live outside of the Erdl on 4 or 5 acres. I pay my taxes, but clearly the taxes I pay and my neighbors pay probably don't generate enough funds to pay for all the things that are there. So I look forward to the debate. I look forward to the discussion. I'm just always cautious when, like I said, let sleeping dogs lie. When there's no issue, and yet we bring it up, the debate will be good, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. Is there a motion? Any more discussion? Is there a motion? Second. Mr. Secretary, can you please call the vote on Bill 1925 as amended?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Nope. Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
I'm pretty disgusted with how we took out the councilmatic courtesy and basically the input of constituents in a particular district. We took it out completely, which was the wrong move. However, there are more advantages to having this in the law than not, so I'm going to vote for it.
And Mr. Jones?
Nay.
All right. Bill passes as amended.
Just to be clear, that counts as an aye, right? I just want to be very clear.
Mr. Catch?
Is that counts as an aye? You said you were going to vote for it. I just want to be very clear. Okay.
You said you'd vote for it, which is an aye, but there, we need an aye, just to make sure.
Or if you want me to vote against it.
No.
Unless you want to change your vote now. All right, so let's move on, for God's sake.
Oh, God.
Mr. Secretary, next bill, please.
I believe that is all the bills for final reading and vote, Mr. Chairman. I believe that brings us now to all fiscal matters.
Yes, so council will now consider all fiscal matters. Extensive testimony was taken at the council's work session on April 1st, 2025. The witnesses who testified at the work session are available to restate their testimony if needed. I will now call upon the secretary to read the cover letter for fiscal matters 1 and 3 through 7. Fiscal matter 2 was withdrawn prior to the meeting, so we won't vote on that.
Fiscal matter 1 is 2 contracts for asbestos abatement and re-insulation services. Fiscal matter 3 is an amendment to contract Facility Support Incorporated doing business as FSI Engineers. Fiscal matter 3 is a contract for the acquisition of parcels related to drainage and utility easements at 9929 Philadelphia Road. Fiscal matter 5 is with Cummins Wagner Company Incorporated. Fiscal matter 6 is 32 agreements cooperative agreements utilizing the State of Maryland Department of Information Technology Consulting and Technical Services Plus, or CATS Plus, staffing solutions contracts. And fiscal matter 7 is a contract with Optimal Geo LLC for on-call professional IT services.
Councilman Marks?
Thank you very much. I want to speak specifically to item number 4 and thank Ms. Buckler. I know you're here tonight. The long-delayed Moores Lane Bridge connection hopefully is moving forward. This is at 90. This particular parcel is at 9929 Philadelphia Road, for those of you unfamiliar with the area, this is a route that will connect Pulaski Highway with Philadelphia Road. It will hopefully relieve congestion in the Middle River, White Marsh areas, improve mobility overall. And my understanding, just to get this on the record, Ms. Buckler, is we're aiming for a construction advertisement in November 2026, correct? That's the goal. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Okay. Yes. Do we have a motion to approve the fiscal matters?
I'll move it.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, can you please call the roll on fiscal matters 1 and 3 through 7?
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka? Aye. Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Okay, fiscal matters are approved. 1 and 3 through 7 are approved. We will now consider the remainder of miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
Mr. Chairman and members of the council, whenever a contract over $25,000 is awarded by a process other than formal competitive bid, it is required that a copy of the contract be given to the county council and the nature and parties to the contract be announced by the secretary at the next legislative session following award of the contract. There are 7 such agreements to be announced this evening. The first is a supplier contract with AC Service and Repair Incorporated for the purchase of proprietary sewage pumping parts, 5-year estimated award total of $4,550,000. Next is a purchase order with MedEng LLC for the purchase of 4 bomb suits and helmets. These new bomb suits and helmets would replace suits purchased in 2016 that have exceeded their 7-year life expectancy, award total of $160,777. Next is a purchase order with Welsky Corporation. This is for the purchase of licenses for homeless management information system software for the Department of Housing and Community Development, award total $41,503.50. Next is a supplier contract with IDEX Distribution Incorporated for the purchase of SNAP veterinary tests for the Baltimore County Department of Animal Services. This company is the sole manufacturer of the tests at 5-year estimated award total of $85,000. Next is a supplier contract with Johnson & Towers Incorporated for the purchase of Detroit engine and Allison transmission parts and labor. This is the only manufacturer that has these transmission parts and service in the state of Maryland in order to maintain the DPWT fleet. 5-year estimated award total of $750,000. Next is a purchase order with Environmental Systems Research Institute Incorporated, or ESRI. This is for the purchase of redistricting solution software / license for the Office of Information Technology in order to complete the council redistricting exercise that is necessitated by ESRI's seamless and integrated support. The software will interface with the county's existing software, which also uses the ESRI system. Award total of $74,200. And finally, a purchase order with Aramark Services Incorporated for the purchase of food preparation and delivery of prepared meals for the county's vulnerable population. Award total of $60,123. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The Johnson & Towers contract also, it looks like the fire department uses them as well.
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to notate that.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you, sir. We will now move on to Resolution 1825.
Yes, Resolution 1825 is sponsored by the chairman and would seek council approval supporting the request for the Main Street, Maryland designation by the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development.
Yes, and this is a resolution that is for downtown Towson, and I would hope that my colleagues will support me on this. I'll motion to approve it unless there's questions.
I'll second it.
All right, Councilman, I'm sorry, Secretary, can you please call the roll on Resolution 1825?
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Aye. Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Well, resolution passes. Next resolution, Mr. Secretary, 1925.
Yes, Resolution 1925 is sponsored by Council Members Catch and Marks. This resolution would approve the adoption and incorporation of the Jacksonville Community Plan into Master Plan 2030.
Councilman Marks or Catch, do you want to
Yeah.
say a few words?
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, you all know how much I value community associations, and the Jacksonville Community Association spent over 100 hours going over the plan and updating it, and I thank them for all their work and ask that the bill be passed. I'll move it.
Sorry,
You're sorry?
I went to Councilman Marks first. I should have known.
I'm sorry.
I should have known Jacksonville was in the third. I'm sorry. I apologize. So motion, I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll on Resolution 1925?
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Aye. Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Okay, our Resolution 1925 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 20-25. This resolution seeks council approval of the Maryland Rural Legacy Plan applications for introduction only this evening.
Do we have a second resolution that's?
Yes, the next item, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 21-25, sponsored by Councilman Marks. This resolution seeks council support in the opposition of the construction of overhead transmission lines associated with the Brandon Shores Retirement Mitigation Project, also for introduction only this evening.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council?
There is no further business, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
That was enthusiastic. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. As is customary, anyone who has registered to speak online prior to the meeting is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Ms. Belcastro, I feel like we had a few speakers sign up. Do we have any speakers this evening that survived that debate?
Mr. Rockell's here.
First speaker is Carmen Scarpula, who is here in person.
Okay. Mr. Scarpula, I'm not butchering that, am I? Scarpula, welcome. Congratulations for sitting through that. We do appreciate you being here.
Could you turn your mic on?
Yeah, you just press the button and it'll turn green. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not much on politics, but as a business owner, seeing all 7 of yous up there, debating back and forth as a citizen of Baltimore County, that's the way you get things done, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
I think, the debating, the arguing and all that, at the end of the day, everybody's going to get something. It's going to be the best thing for the citizens, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So what did you want to talk about tonight?
Well, the Christmas tree farm, I think what you guys have passed and preserved was memories for Kingsville residents. The tree farm provides, people go there, they get a tree, they have activities for the kids to do, and it creates memories for all the families in Kingsville. The tree farm could never survive on its own. The mechanical business is the financial to keep the property as nice as it is. It's beautiful. They've done tremendous amount of work there. And it's a pleasure to have them as a neighbor. I live just behind the tree farm on Jones Road, and they've done a remarkable job. I've been there 20 years. Prior people that were there didn't take care of it. It was run down. And I just thank you for passing it. It's fantastic property. The Andrews are a fantastic family. They've done a wonderful job. I had a birthday party at my house for my granddaughter Saturday. Took all the kids down the farm. They have a playground, get on the swings. You know, they just enjoyed it. Walked down to the river, took the dog down, you know, throw sticks out for the dog to get. And the kids just, they want to come back. When can we come back? When can we come back? So they've done a remarkable job. They're an asset to the community, and I appreciate what you guys have done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have any questions?
Councilman Marks.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sticking it out, and appreciate the comments. It's always good to hear. Next speaker, Ms. Belcastro.
Our next registered speaker was Benjamin Andrews, who signed up virtually. Oh, you're here in person. Okay.
Ben is
I was
back.
going to say they were on virtually.
I was afraid when you said I'm a business owner. I was going to say, I don't know how y'all get anything done.
Ben, you're going to become an expert here. This is your second time.
I'm not a public speaker, but I was under a lot of pressure last
That's
time.
okay.
And I just wanted to thank you, wholeheartedly thank Mr. Marks and the County Council for passing Bill 1625. This legislation is a blessing for our family business and the Kingsville community we hold so dear. At Gunpowder Tree Farm, we built a reputation as a place for families. Don't just buy a tree, they create a cherished memory. Thanks for your support. Thanks to your support, we can expand our 15-acre farm, keeping the tradition alive and growing. We look forward to our farm and surrounding. We look forward to improving our farm and the surrounding properties on Philadelphia Road, enhancing the area's charm. Mr. Marks, your leadership has given us the chance to grow while preserving the family-friendly spirit that defines us. Thank you for believing in Gunpowder Tree Farm. We're thrilled to keep warming hearts and building traditions that families will treasure for a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. We appreciate you being here. Okay. Ms. Belcastro, I think we have
Certainly.
more speakers.
Our next registered speaker is Mark Bellman. Mr. Bellman, you are online and you may begin your testimony.
Mr. Bellman? He may have had to do something better than.
Well, there's someone also on by phone who has the same area code, so let me try.
Do you want to go to the
Mr.
next-
Bellman?
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, I got you by your phone. You may begin your testimony when you're ready.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Councilman Marks, thank you for presenting this bill and the other councilman members approving the bill. Having grown up on that property and seeing the Andrews and the tree farm extend a family business, very much like the family business I grew up in on that property. We understood that was the intention for the property when they purchased the property. So it's good to see this bill approved and the opportunities for not only the community, but the Andrews to have success with the tree farm while supporting the tree farm through a business that's very similar to businesses that have been on that property for many, many years. Thank you, and appreciate the consideration of everybody in the neighborhood that you carefully reviewed and took everyone's protests and concerns into consideration, I'm sure, in your evaluation of making your final approval, and that's appreciated as well. You guys did an amazing job tonight doing the will of the people, and the normal debate back and forth is beneficial for everyone in the county. And it's good to see at the end of the day, everyone leaves there, shake hands, and move on to the next day. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Bellman. Ms. Belcastro, next speaker.
You don't shake hands, we go back and fight it out.
Our next speaker is Benjamin Cadow. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Cadow.
Cadow. You may begin your testimony.
Hi, good evening. I'm Ben Cato, Vice President of Kingsville Volunteer Fire Company. I just want to extend our gratitude to Mr. Marks and also Gunpowder Tree Farm in Bill 1625. Since the Andrew family has taken over that and became the Gunpowder Tree Farm, they've been a key asset to supporting our fundraisers through our Christmas tree program, the community fireworks, and they have extended many more offers to help us continue our um, ultimate goal here at Kingsville. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Councilman Mark?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ben. Good to hear from you.
You too.
And Ms. Belcastro, are there any, it looks like it was at least
Yes.
one more sign up.
Another registered speaker was Palmer Moore, and they are not on either by phone or, so they must have jumped off the meeting.
Which would
And then
make sense. He was testifying on it, Bill 1825.
Yes, that's correct.
That was extended, so.
So, yes. And our final speaker this evening is Eric Rockel, who is here in person.
This is a man we really don't know well. Chairman, you may begin.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the council, one of my advocations is involvement in Greater Timonium Community Council. And I'd like to recognize that we have a couple of members from that organization here tonight, our Vice President, Kathleen Bedell, and one of our more active members, Pam Shaw. If you indulge me, I'm going to take you back in time. I'm going to put you in the Wayback Machine. Okay? It was a year far, far ago when the Vietnam War ended, when my favorite band of all time, the Eagles, had a 5-week successful #1 album. It was also the year that on the second floor of this building, Ted Venetoulis sat in the executive office, and we had council members named Murphy and Huddles and Kibbe and Ritter and O'Rourke and Lauenstein. And it also happened to be the year that there was a young freshman delegate in the House of Delegates. That year was 1975. And so I'm here tonight because the Greater Timonium Community Council wants to recognize and thank Councilman Wade Catch for his 50 years of service to Baltimore County, both in the state legislature and in the county council here. So we have a plaque that we'd like to present to Councilman Catch.
Mr. Chairman, this is quite a surprise. I had no idea. This is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think it was meant to be a surprise.
GT. Let me come down. Why do we all go down? Not you.
What was that Eagles album?
I was
One of these nights?
one of these
Crazy night.
It's funny, Eric. I always
Wild
thought
Out, Pretty Mild.
I always took you to be a Jimi Hendrix guy.
No lion eyes for me, right?
Were you here when they were down at the arena a couple years back? 10 years, maybe. Together. Closer. until you're uncomfortable, Eric. Squeeze together until you're uncomfortable. Councilman Katz. Oh, okay, ready?
We're done, right, Mr. Chairman?
Right on.